Welcome back, everyone. For this episode of my Prog Rock Show, I will be discussing 3 live yacht rock albums from my Midsummer listening experience. First, I'd like to start with a special thanks to the people that got me this awesome Osmond shirt. Thank you very much. I love it. And if you haven't watched my Prog Rock or Yacht Rock video from a couple years prior to this video, I will leave a link in the description below. But before we begin, I'd like to bring in yacht rock expert Green Man from the Semiramis album.
I love me some yacht rock.
Well, why do you love yacht rock so much?
Because I met my girlfriend on a yacht and we made it rock. Here she comes
Brain
now.
salad surgery girl? What are you doing here?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. That's enough. Let's just begin. Whatever you do, don't tell Donald Fagen that Steely Dan's music is yacht rock. He'll get cross. Christopher Cross. You see, Christopher Cross is his hired muscle to back him up. And when he gets upset, he binge eats at McDonald's. Michael McDonald's. See, Michael McDonald will cook him lunch or... Oh, okay. All right. California 1974 offers a rare unofficial look at the early years of Steely Dan when they were truly a band. The album captures the performance broadcast on March 10, 1974 from KSAN FM. I am assuming it was recorded the previous month since Pretzel Logic was released on February 20th and Donald Fagen references the album hitting the shelves later that week. Speaking of the band, they doubled up on almost every instrument. Donald Fagen and Michael McDonald would handle keyboards and vocals. Jeff Baxter and Denny Diaz make up one of the best guitar duos. Jim Hodder and Jeff Porcaro, later of Toto fame, on drums, and Walter Becker is the lone bass player. Royce Jones would also accompany on percussion and backing vocals, more on him later. As far as the album goes, the sound quality is very listenable and has been remastered. It definitely sounds like a radio recording though, but again, quality is not an issue. Since this preceded their third album, Pretzel Logic, the setlist puts more emphasis on Pretzel Logic with only 2 songs from their first 2 LPs each. Steely Dan benefits from the extra members, giving the band a bigger sound noticeable on the drums on Do It Again and King of the World, one of my favorite Steely Dan songs and one of their most progressive. It is also interesting to hear Royce Jones take lead vocals on songs like Any Major Dude Will Tell You and Fagen trading vocals on Pretzel Logic with Michael McDonald, something they would do 40 years later when they toured as the Dukes of September with Boz Scaggs. Fagen did initially have an aversion to singing. After departing with vocalist David Palmer in 1973, Steely Dan considered Elliot Lurie from Looking Glass, who had the yacht rock hit Brandy, You're a Fine Girl, and Jerry Rafferty from Steelers Wheels, another yacht rock alumni. The broadcast ends with the bluesy rock song, This Is All Too Mobile Home, a song about a trailer. It was never on a Steely Dan album. In hindsight, they wish they recorded a version for Countdown to Ecstasy or Pretzel Logic, but it is an interesting rarity nonetheless. Steely Dan would finish the tour and touring in general in early July of 1974. Their next concert wouldn't be for another 19 years in August of 1993. Through the rest of the 70s, Steely Dan would devote every ounce of energy on perfecting their sound in the studio, and when you are trying to reach that level of perfection, you are going to run into a lot of problems, which they did. The irony of Steely Dan's career is that they were once a studio band in the 70s and would primarily become a touring act when they would reform almost 20 years later. But either way, don't call them yacht rock. Ambrosia's turn into a more radio-friendly sound away from prog would occur on their third album, 1978's Life Beyond LA, after signing a new record deal with Warner Brothers. Their single, How Much I Feel, was a top 10 hit and is still frequently played on adult contemporary stations and, of course, yacht rock radio. For the people who don't think Ambrosia is prog, keep in mind they were influenced by King Crimson and worked with Alan Parsons. If anything, give their first album a spin and let me know what you think. Broadcast on WEBN-FM November 15, 1978, in Cincinnati, Ohio, live Fifth Floor, Cincinnati, really shows off a band transitioning their sound. Although they were scoring big with a more soft rock sound, Ambrosia had not abandoned their prog roots on the performance. Even the current songs at the time, like the title track from Life Beyond LA, leans more into prog territory. Overall, Ambrosia is very tight live, and I was impressed with their performance, giving me even more of an appreciation for the band. It was a perfect amalgamation of both prog rock and yacht rock. The first half of the concert mostly consists of songs from their latest album, Life Beyond LA, with the second half representing their second album, Somewhere I've Never Traveled, and surprisingly only 2 songs from their debut album. There is a weird fade out in the middle of the brunt during the instrumental section that fades in during a drum solo. The concert does flow smoothly with standouts including the band introduction. And I like a good band introduction. I originally purchased this concert with a 2-disc version of Life Beyond LA, but I never opened it. Fortunately, the Echoes label released another version in 2017. And whatever happened to Royce Jones from Steely Dan, he would appear as a backing vocalist on Ambrosia's 4th album, 1980's 180, which featured yacht rock hits Biggest Part of Me and You're the Only Woman. Now, are we sure Ambrosia drummer Burley Drummond and Daryl Hull aren't the same person? Somebody better look into this. If you want to learn more about Todd Rundgren's Utopia, watch my video, Road to Todd Rundgren's Utopia. I will leave a link in the description below. Following some upheaval with the band members after the first album, the core of Utopia would go from a 6-piece to a 4-piece, and there were still changes to be made. Todd knew that losing members would impact their harmonies, so who did he hire as a backing vocalist? No, not Royce Jones. Why would you even think that? He brought in Anthony Hinton and a young Luther Vandross. Out of the 3 live albums I covered in this video, this was definitely the best recording. There are actually 2 versions of this concert that I know of. One is the Shout Factory version from 2012, and it was also part of the Esoteric Recordings Todd Rundgren at the BBC 1972 to 1982 box set, which is the one I listened to because it featured an unreleased version of Something's Coming from Leonard Bernstein's West Side Story. The concert at the Hammersmith Odeon was recorded on October 9, 1975, and was broadcast on the BBC January 1, 1976. A nice way to ring in the new year. Utopia largely splits its time between their own songs like Freedom Fighters and Mr. Triscuits, as well as Rundgren's solo material like Sons of 1984 and Couldn't I Just Tell You. Open My Eyes from Rundgren's previous band The Nazz and Jeff Lynne's duo were thrown in to round out a harder rocking live performance. The track list is similar to Utopia's live album Another Live, but there are enough differences to make it worth a listen. As for Todd's lighter yacht rock hits, Hello It's Me and I Saw the Light, you can find them on the BBC box set as well. Overall, this live recording does a great job capturing a band in flux right before their lineup would stabilize, but you really can't go wrong with Utopia in any form with Todd Rundgren at the helm. The great Rick Beato called yacht rock a derogatory term. We will have to agree to disagree. I think it is a term of endearment, and Rick was afraid of offending Donald Fagen. Repackaging soft rock and the yacht rock made it my summer soundtrack, and something I enjoy with my mother-in-law.
Did you mention Gino Vanelli?
Maybe? Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. I Just Want to Stop by Gino Vanelli is the greatest wedding song of all time. Happy now?